It's like I kamikaze myself. It's
I thought that was a drink. And one I quite like.
probably it's a cocktail. I know I can be successful. I know I can do well, but it's like something stops me from doing that, but I also don't want to fail, and it's like I can get to a level, and I've done very, very well, don't get me wrong, and then it's like I'll do something to stop that. So it's that part of me doesn't want, it's like I'm scared of being successful. Oh God, I can hear myself going.
Now, again, can you see the stress and everything? But this is great.
And yet I just don't want to fail either, and particularly coming out to this part of the world, and in my current situation, it's like, I'm not going to fail, but it's like...
So which is the problem part? That part that's successful, or the part that kind of like...
Well, actually, it's probably this being successful, because actually, you know what, fail. You know, and that's not great, but it's like, hey, yeah, well, I knew I couldn't do it. But I know I can do what I'm good at.
So there's the problem part is the part of you being so successful.
Yeah, and being able to earn really good salaries.
Okay.
And you know, or whatever it might be, and you know, rather than being...
So guess which hand the part that wants to be successful is going to come out on? Yeah, she's giving us big clues all the time. So this part that wants to be successful, which hand does it want to come out on?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I figured that. All right, so let that part that wants to be successful come out and stand on this hand. Okay. And does it look like anybody you know, sound like anybody you know, feel like anyone you know?
It's my mother.
Okay, it's your mother. They've got a lot to answer for, haven't they? All right.
Stopping me.
All right, and this other part that's sort of, what should I call it, the kamikaze part?
Kamikaze.
All right, this other part that's sort of about failure or sabotaging yourself, does that look like anyone you know, sound like anyone you know, or could it?
It's my dad.
It's your dad.
Excellent.
All right, so let's just sort of get your hands here in sort of catalepsy. So this part here that looks like your mother, about being successful, all right? And this part here that looks like your father, that's sort of like, this is the problem part, being successful, and this is the sort of dad and sort of not being so successful or sabotaging yourself. Yeah. So if you want to close your eyes, let's look at this problem part first that looks like your mother. There's a part of you that wants to be successful. What's the highest intention of that part? What's the very highest intention of that part of you that wants to be successful?
To be independent.
Okay, and what does being independent do for you?
It allows me to do things for myself and for other people.
Okay, and what's the very highest intention of doing things for yourself and for other people and being independent?
Living life.
Living life. And what's the highest intention of living life? What's the highest purpose of living life?
Not being a passenger.
Okay, what does not being a passenger do for you?
It should value each day.
Okay, and what's the highest purpose of valuing each day?
For enjoyment and happiness.
Okay, what's the highest intention of enjoyment and happiness?
Sort of fun and sort of contentment.
Okay, so what's the highest intention of enjoyment, happiness, fun and contentment? What's the very highest intention of enjoyment, happiness, fun and contentment?
Well, being able to give back.
To give back. And what's the very highest intention and purpose of being able to give back?
To feel calm.
To feel calm, that's right. What's the very highest intention, highest purpose of feeling calm? What does that do for you?
It's peace.
It's peace. And what's the highest intention of peace?
tranquility. It's total calm and total just.
Yes. So what's the highest intention of this part that looks like your mother? Around peace, tranquility, total calm, happiness, enjoyment. What's the very highest intention?
Just to be balanced.
To be balanced. And again, what's the very highest intention of this part, this balance that wants to be successful, that looks like your mother? What's the very highest intention of being balanced, of this part of you that wants to be successful?
To be compassionate.
To be compassionate. And what's the very highest intention of being compassionate? What's the highest purpose of being compassionate?
Well, peace, just total.
Total peace.
Yes.
Okay, and what's the highest intention of total peace, total world peace?
Meaning of life, it's just...
The meaning of life. Okay, and what's the highest intention of the meaning of life?
It's the purpose.
Okay, and what's the highest intention of the purpose of life? Of enjoyment, of fun, balance, compassionate. What's the highest intention of purpose?
It's being one.
Being one.
Everything being one.
Okay, and what's the very highest intention of purpose and being one?
It's just a universal oneness.
Okay, and what's the highest intention of universal oneness?
It's peace.
And what's the highest intention of peace, world peace, purpose, being one, and universal existence?
It's just I can't. It's just ethereal.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the highest intention of ethereal? What's that highest intention of ethereal?
It's just... It's oneness, it's the whole.
It's the whole. Okay, and let's talk about this part that looks like your father. What's its highest intention? What's the highest intention of this part that's not successful? That sabotages things, that looks like your father. What's its very highest intention?
Giving.
Giving. And what's the highest intention and purpose of giving?
Supporting others.
Great. And what's the highest intention of giving and supporting others?
Contentment.
Yeah, and what's the very highest intention of giving, supporting others, and contentment?
Fulfillment.
And what's the highest intention of fulfillment? What does that do for you?
It's calm. It's peace.
Yeah. And what's the very highest intention of calm, peace, fulfillment, giving, supporting others?
It's a oneness.
Yes, it's a oneness, and you may notice that those hands are starting to come together, and they have, haven't they?
Yes.
And is there anything, other parts who would like to join in that integration as the oneness does take place? And Elspeth, let those parts really come together into your heart, and notice that there may be some other parts that want to join in that integration. And that it is about oneness. And now notice how they make you all feel calm, at peace, in your mind, in your body, so that you can, can't you, become totally one. Oh. That was quite a big one, wasn't it?
It was a huge one, and it was very strange. I mean, I guess obviously doing practitioner, you know, quite often it's going to be a family member or somebody who may come out on a apart. But whoa, it was the opposite way around. I mean, you know, my mother being the sabotaging success part that I related to.
So how do you feel about success now?
It just feels like it's it's an even playing field. It's like you know, there's nothing to worry about. If I'm successful, it doesn't matter. I can do what I want to do with that, and I shouldn't feel guilty if I'm good at what I do, and I do
you know,
well.
if there's any guilt, we can release that with timeline therapy. So we can get rid of that quite quickly as well.
But that's what it was tied up in, I think. It was like, I'm not allowed to be.
And can you see there's a nice colour shift as well, really nice colour shift there.
So, yeah.
Fantastic,
thank you,
are we
Karen.
done?
We're done.